There is a formula, one so powerful, so hidden in plain sight, that it determines who will experience sudden, almost lottery-like breakthroughs in money. It is not found in the corner store ticket line. It is not hidden in the odds stacked by casinos or the numbers scribbled onto scratch cards. It is spiritual, precise, and as old as divine law itself. Those who know it, who live it, seem to attract miraculous windfalls, unexpected checks, timely opportunities, wealth appearing out of nowhere. And those who don't, they continue to chase chance, to play against odds that never favor them, to live in cycles of disappointment. Most people have been trained to believe that wealth is a gamble. They line up, week after week, to purchase hope in the form of a lottery ticket. They put their faith in numbers on a slip of paper while quietly whispering doubts. I never win. It never works out for me. And then they wonder why their lives remain the same. They have given their power to chance, forgetting that the universe does not operate by chance. It operates by law. And that law is exact. Florence Scovel Shinn, a woman decades ahead of her time, said it best. Your word is your wand. She revealed, again and again, that the spiritual world does not respond to luck. It responds to the words you speak, the vibration you carry, and the faith you hold. When these three forces, word, vibration, and faith, align, you unlock what feels like the winning formula. It is not random. It is not luck. It is law. Picture this contrast. One person stands in line at the convenience store, clutching their ticket, whispering to themselves, I'll never win, but maybe this time. They live in lack, speak from lack, and vibrate with doubt. Another person wakes up in the morning, before ever checking a number, and declares aloud, unexpected wealth flows to me now. Divine supply cannot fail. They live as if the universe is conspiring in their favor. They vibrate with expectancy, not desperation. Which of these two do you think experiences the sudden breakthrough? The truth is, you don't have to gamble with your future. You don't have to hand your hope to a ticket or to the fickle hand of chance. The winning formula is already within you, waiting to be spoken, lived, and obeyed. And once you step into it, wealth cannot help but find you. It may come through a business deal, through an inheritance, through a gift, through a sudden check in the mail. It may even come through a lottery. But it will always come by divine law, never by chance. This is the secret most people never discover. They live and die, hoping the odds will turn in their favor, never realizing that odds are irrelevant when law is obeyed. The moment you understand that wealth answers to divine alignment, you stop waiting for luck and start commanding results. You become the exception, the one who attracts windfalls that look impossible from the outside, but are inevitable from the inside. Florence hinted at this formula in every teaching she gave, words spoken with conviction, faith held without wavering, and vibration maintained in alignment with divine truth. These three forces together create results so dramatic they appear miraculous. But to those who know, they are simply the natural outcome of living in rhythm with spiritual law. So as we begin this journey, I want you to remember this. There is a formula, and it works every time it is obeyed. It is not reserved for a select few. It is available to anyone willing to step out of chance and into law. Over the course of this message, I will reveal this formula to you, how to use it, how to align with it, and how to activate it in your own life, so that wealth begins moving toward you in ways you never imagined. But first, I want you to declare your readiness. Type this in the comments right now. I align with divine wealth. Let this be your first act of agreement with the formula. Because the moment you align, the universe begins to respond. Most people spend their entire lives chasing wealth through chance. They hope, they guess, they gamble, they hustle themselves into exhaustion, and yet the riches they dream of always seem one step ahead of them. They live like someone reaching for a mirage in the desert, always moving, never arriving, and the reason is simple. They are depending on chance rather than law. Chance is unstable. It has no foundation. It is built on probability, on odds stacked against you, on a system that is never designed for your favor. The lottery, for example, is structured so that millions pour in, and only a handful ever see a return. And yet people line up, week after week, believing that maybe, just maybe, their luck will turn. They cling to scraps of hope while quietly expecting defeat. And that expectation is the vibration the universe responds to. They say things like, "I never win anything," or "I'm unlucky when it comes to money." They hand over their power to chance and then wonder why they experience more lack. The law is exact: whatever you declare, you live. Now contrast that with the one who understands divine law. They do not hope for riches, they command them. They do not chase after opportunity in desperation. They attract it through alignment. Their words are clear, their vibrations steady, their faith unwavering, and because of this, wealth answers them. They may or may not buy a lottery ticket, but it doesn't matter. Their increase does not depend on chance, it depends on covenant. Florence Scovel Shinn revealed this again and again in her teachings. Life is not a game of odds, it is a game of alignment. Those who live by law walk in a rhythm that cannot fail. They don't wonder if they will receive, they know they already have, and because they know it, they live in peace while others live in fear. Let me draw the contrast more vividly. Imagine two people, both with the same financial struggles. The first spends their energy chasing chance. They hustle for every dollar. They gamble what little they have. They jump from one quick scheme to another, always restless, always desperate. Their words betray them. Money is hard to come by. Nothing ever works out for me. I'm just not lucky. Every time they speak these phrases, they cement scarcity deeper into their reality. The second person faces the same circumstances, but they choose law over chance. They wake up in the morning and declare, "Divine supply is flowing into my life today. My needs are met in perfect ways." They go about their day with expectation, not fear. When a bill comes, they don't curse it. They declare, "This too is covered by divine provision." And in ways that seem impossible to the natural mind, money shows up. Opportunities arise. Doors open. While the first person repeats cycles of loss, the second steps into cycles of increase. The difference is not luck, it is luck. You see, depending on chance leads to instability. You win one day, you lose the next. You gain a little, but it slips away just as quickly. You spend your life riding waves of uncertainty, your emotions tied to outcomes you cannot control, and worst of all, you reinforce in your subconscious the belief that wealth is rare, random, and reserved for the lucky few. But when you live by divine law, you live by certainty. You may not always know how wealth will come, but you know it will. You know that the universe cannot ignore a declaration spoken in alignment with truth. You know that when you obey law, increase must follow. It is guaranteed, not by odds, but by the very order of creation. Think about the natural laws we already trust. Gravity does not sometimes work and sometimes fail. It works every time. The sun does not sometimes rise and sometimes forget. It rises without fail. Divine law is just as certain, and when it comes to wealth, the law is simple. Your words, your vibration, and your faith command your supply, not chance, not odds, not the roll of a dice. This is why most people never win. They keep outsourcing their wealth to external forces, bosses, governments, tickets, investments they don't understand. They place their future in the hands of chance when all along the power has been in their own alignment. Florence said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. Those who depend on chance only ever see themselves waiting, hoping, wishing. But those who depend on divine law see themselves receiving now. They declare it, they believe it, and they live it, and because they do, the universe mirrors it back without fail." So let me make this clear. If you are tired of losing, tired of hoping, tired of chasing after wealth that always slips away, you must make a decision today. Will you continue to live by chance, or will you step into the certainty of law? Will you keep saying, "I hope," or will you start saying, "I command"? Because wealth does not respond to the language of hope. It responds to the language of law. And here is your first act of alignment. Write this in the comments right now. I trust divine law, not chance. Let this be your declaration. With every word you speak, you are either agreeing with lack or aligning with abundance. Choose today which one you will obey. For those who continue with chance, the cycle of scarcity will continue. But for those who step into law, increase is inevitable. This is the difference between the majority who never win and the few who live in overflow. The trap of chance keeps you bound. The rhythm of law sets you free. Florence Scovel Shinn said something so simple, yet so revolutionary, that it still echoes across decades. Your word is your wand. With those 5 words, she gave humanity the clearest truth about wealth, success, and manifestation. What you say becomes the very material that shapes your life. And when it comes to money, to sudden breakthroughs, even to lottery-like windfalls, your words are far more powerful than any ticket you could ever buy. Think about it this way. Every lottery ticket sold represents a chance, a possibility hanging in the balance. But every word you speak is not just a chance, it is a command. It is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the universe, and law demands that it grows. When spoken with rhythm, with faith, and with conviction, your word becomes the winning ticket that guarantees manifestation. Most people don't understand this. They treat their words carelessly, throwing them around as if they have no power. They say things like, "I never win anything." And guess what? The law obeys. They never win anything. They mutter, "I'm always broke," and the law confirms. They are always broke. They sigh, "Money doesn't come to me easily." And sure enough, money resists them at every turn. Every word spoken is a seed, and the universe does not discriminate. It multiplies both faith and fear, both prosperity and poverty. Your word is not casual. Your word is law. Now contrast that with those who use their words deliberately. They understand Florence's secret. They speak with rhythm, with expectancy, and with conviction. They say, "Unexpected wealth flows to me now." They declare, "Every bill is paid before it arrives." They affirm, "I am a magnet for divine supply, and money moves when I speak." And because the law cannot fail, these words produce results. Checks show up, opportunities appear, debts dissolve, breakthroughs arrive in ways that look miraculous to the outside world but are simply obedience to divine law. I want you to imagine this. Someone buys a lottery ticket and mutters under their breath, "I probably won't win, but let's see." Their words cancel their own hope. Another person, whether they buy a ticket or not, begins their day declaring, "Unexpected channels of wealth open for me today. My supply comes in perfect ways." That person may not even need the ticket. Their declaration sets the entire universe in motion to deliver their supply. Money may come through the lottery. It may come through a refund, an inheritance, a gift, or a client they weren't expecting. The channel doesn't matter. The law does. Florence revealed again and again that the spoken word in faith is the greatest creative power we have. She told stories of people who shifted their entire lives with one declaration. A woman who spoke, "My supply is endless, inexhaustible, immediate," and watched debts dissolve in weeks. A man who affirmed, "God is my instant and everlasting supply," and was given an unexpected opportunity that restored his fortune. These weren't accidents. They were the direct results of the law, responding to words. And here's the difference. Most people treat words as commentary. They use their mouths like thermometers, reporting what they see. "I'm broke, business is slow, nothing ever works out." But Florence taught that the mouth is not a thermometer. It is a thermostat. It does not report reality. It creates reality. When you speak, you are setting the temperature of your life. You are commanding the environment around you to match the rhythm of your words. That is why your word is your winning ticket. The lottery offers odds. Your word offers certainty. The lottery says, "Maybe, if the numbers align." Your word says yes, because law cannot fail. The lottery depends on chance. Your word depends on covenant. Which would you rather trust? I want to make this practical for you. Every time you speak, you are buying a ticket, except this ticket never expires, never loses its power, and never fails when spoken in faith. So ask yourself, what ticket are you buying with your words? Are you buying endless losses by declaring, "I can't afford this, I never get ahead, I'm so unlucky"? Or are you buying guaranteed breakthroughs by declaring, "Money flows to me in perfect ways. Wealth is my divine inheritance. I am always provided for"? Here is a truth you must engrave in your spirit. Every declaration you make is a winning ticket when it aligns with divine law. Florence knew this, and she used it to transform lives. She didn't hand out tickets, she handed out declarations. She taught people to take control of their words and speak only what they wanted multiplied. And the results were astonishing. Lives changed, fortunes reversed, debts cleared, and wealth manifested, all because of deliberate declarations spoken in rhythm with faith. So I ask you now, what will you speak? Will you continue to use your words to reinforce lack, or will you begin to use them as the winning ticket to your prosperity? If you want to see sudden breakthroughs, if you want your financial reality to change, you must start here, with your words. Every careless phrase must be replaced with a deliberate declaration. Every joke about being broke must be canceled and substituted with a declaration of supply. Every sigh of despair must be answered with a word of faith. And here is your challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to test this truth for yourself. For 7 days, speak this declaration morning, noon, and night. Every word I speak is a winning ticket. Say it with conviction. Say it until your subconscious begins to believe it. Say it until every cell in your body vibrates with it. And as you do, watch what begins to happen. Opportunities will appear. Money will show up in unexpected ways. Circumstances will rearrange themselves. Why? Because the law is exact, and the law says your word is your wand. So pause for a moment now, wherever you are, and speak this aloud. Every word I speak is a winning ticket. Then write it in the comments below as your first act of alignment. Let the universe see it. Let your soul hear it. Let divine law confirm it. Your words are not casual. They are the very lottery you've been looking for. And unlike chance, they never miss. For centuries, people have searched for a secret formula to wealth. Some looked for it in numbers, in strategies, in chance, or in the hands of luck. Yet Florence Scovel Shinn revealed a truth far more profound. The universe itself is governed by law, and when you align with that law, increase becomes inevitable. What most people call luck is nothing more than law in motion. And today, I will reveal the formula, 3 interconnected codes that work together to unlock sudden wealth, financial breakthroughs, and the kind of provision that feels miraculous. These codes are not complicated. They are not hidden in rituals or in secrets, reserved for the chosen few. They are clear, precise, and available to anyone willing to use them. The formula is this: the word, the assumption, and the obedience. 3 spiritual codes that, when combined, create what feels like lottery-winning results. Let us break each one down. Everything begins with the word. Florence said, "Your word is your wand." Words are not commentary. They are commands. They shape reality. They set vibration. They direct energy. The first code of this formula is learning to declare your wealth with deliberate intention. The mistake most people make is speaking what they see rather than what they want. They use their words to describe lack. I can't afford this. I'm always behind. I'll never get ahead. But divine law is exact. It doesn't filter sarcasm, self-pity, or careless phrases. It takes every word as a command. Speak lack, and lack multiplies. Speak wealth, and wealth responds. The formula begins when you choose your words with intention. Instead of saying, "I never win anything," you say, "Unexpected wealth flows to me now." Instead of sighing, "I don't know how I'll pay this bill," you declare, "Every bill is paid before it arrives." Your mouth becomes a gate through which abundance flows. But here's the key: your words must not be random. They must be deliberate and repeated with conviction. The first code teaches you that your declarations are the foundation of your wealth. Without them, nothing else in the formula can stand. So speak now. My words command my wealth. If the word is the seed, the assumption is the soil. The second code teaches you to live as if it's already yours. Most people speak affirmations but then contradict them with their actions. They say, "I am abundant," but then live as though they are still waiting for wealth to arrive. They check their bank account in fear. They stress over bills. They make decisions rooted in lack. This is contradiction, and contradiction blocks manifestation. The law of assumption, however, collapses time. It teaches that the moment you declare, you must also assume. You must walk, speak, and act as though your desire is already complete. When you say, I am supplied, you must live as though supply is present. When you declare, money flows to me, effortlessly, you must stop behaving like someone who chases or fears. This is not delusion, it is alignment. You are not pretending. You are rehearsing the reality you are creating. By embodying the vibration of already having, you send a clear signal to the universe. This is who I am. And the universe, being exact, must rearrange itself to match that vibration. Think of a farmer planting seeds. He does not say, someday I hope this will grow. He assumes the harvest is already on its way. He waters, he tends, he prepares his barns, not because the crops are visible, but because he knows they are guaranteed. That is assumption. So here is your declaration. I live as though my wealth is already here. The third code is the one most people ignore, and it is why their results never last. The final code is obedience, the daily rhythm of repetition. You can speak the word once, you can assume for a day. But without obedience, without the discipline to repeat, to align, to declare daily, the vibration fades. Your subconscious reverts to old patterns. Doubt seeps back in, and the manifestation collapses. Obedience means you repeat your declarations every day in rhythm without fail. Morning command, speak your words of wealth before the world has a chance to speak lack into you. Midday substitution, whenever fear or doubt rises, interrupt it with a declaration of supply. Evening seal, close your day by affirming gratitude and abundance, so your subconscious rehearses wealth while you sleep. This rhythm is not about pressure, it is about consistency. Just as your heart beats in rhythm, just as the ocean waves move in rhythm, so must your words and assumptions flow in rhythm. Wealth is not random, it is rhythmic, and obedience to that rhythm ensures manifestation. Florence herself warned, dabblers see nothing. The ones who obey law, who make declarations their daily language, see results that look miraculous. The law does not fail, only rhythm fails. So declare, I obey the rhythm of wealth. Each code is powerful on its own, but together they form the unbreakable formula. The word declares, the assumption embodies, and the obedience seals. This one, and the chain is broken. Speak words but never assume, and you are like someone planting seeds but refusing to water them. Assume wealth but never speak it, and your soil is rich but empty. Speak and assume but never obey, in repetition, and your harvest withers before it ripens. But when you speak, assume, and obey consistently, you cannot fail. Wealth must respond, breakthroughs must arrive. The formula is not a gamble, it is law in action. Florence revealed this in every teaching, though few grasped its full depth. She was handing us the formula all along, words that command, assumptions that embody, and obedience that sustains. Together they become a force no odds can resist. Now it is your turn to step into this formula. Pause for a moment, breathe, and declare each code aloud. My words command my wealth. I live as though my wealth is already here. I obey the rhythm of wealth. Let these 3 codes settle into your spirit. They are the formula. They are the hidden winning ticket you've been searching for. And I want you to anchor this right now. Write it in the comments below. I walk in the formula of wealth. By writing it, you are not just typing words. You are making a spiritual agreement. You are stepping into alignment with the formula. And once you align, wealth cannot ignore you. The word, the assumption, the obedience. 3 codes, 1 formula. Use it, and you will never again depend on chance. You will walk in certainty, in rhythm, in law, and wealth, by divine decree, will obey. The formula begins where all creation begins, with the word. This is the first pillar of manifestation, the first code that unlocks wealth and abundance. Florence Scovel Shinn said it plainly, your word is your wand. With every phrase that leaves your mouth, you are either commanding wealth into your life, or blocking it with lack. There is no neutral speech. Every word carries vibration, and every vibration produces results. Think for a moment about how casually most people use their words. They mutter things like, I can't afford this, They sigh, money doesn't come easily. They joke, I'm broke again. And the universe does not laugh with them. It simply obeys. The law multiplies what it hears, so when you say, I can't afford it, the law answers, confirmed. You can't afford it. When you say, I never win anything, the law replies, as you declare, so it is. This is why most people remain stuck. Their mouths become instruments of limitation. They don't realize they are writing contracts with their own voice. Contracts the universe must honor. Now contrast that with the one who understands the first code. Instead of repeating lack, they speak supply. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, they declare all my needs are met under grace in perfect ways. Instead of muttering, money is hard to come by, they affirm, money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. Instead of joking, I'm broke, they boldly say, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am provided for. Do you see the difference? The words are not commentary, they are commands. And divine law does not respond to complaints. It responds to command. This is why Florence insisted that words are exact. You cannot speak one thing and hope to receive another. Your words set the mold, and into that mold divine substance flows. Careless speech creates a mold of lack. Faithful speech creates a mold of wealth. And the law is exact in filling whatever mold you create. Let me show you the contrast clearly. A person says, I'll never get out of debt, and so debt multiplies. Another says, I am free from all debt, money is circulating in my life with ease. And suddenly, opportunities to cancel or pay debts begin to appear. One person sighs, I never get ahead, and life keeps them chasing survival. Another declares, I am always advancing. Wealth is pursuing me daily, and doors open where there were once only walls. This is not wishful thinking, this is law. The Word is the beginning. In Scripture, it says, in the beginning was the Word. Creation did not start with effort, with labor, or with chance. It started with speech. God said, let there be light, and there was light. In the same way, when you say, let there be wealth in my life, law. The reason so many people never see this truth is because they treat words as empty. They don't understand that each phrase is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and the subconscious does not filter, it simply accepts, and once accepted, it produces fruit in the outer world. This is why the first code is so powerful. When you master your word, you master your wealth. But here's the key. Words must be spoken with rhythm and faith. Casual repetition without conviction produces little, but words spoken with belief, with certainty, with authority, those are the declarations that shift reality. When you say, I am prosperous, you must feel prosperity in your body. When you declare, I am supplied, you must walk as though the supply is already here. The rhythm of your word, paired with the faith of your heart, creates the vibration that the universe cannot resist. Now, I want to give you an extended affirmation loop. These are not casual phrases. They are powerful declarations designed to align you with the flow of wealth. Speak them daily. Speak them with conviction. Speak them until they no longer feel like affirmations, but like the natural language of your life. All my needs are met under grace, in perfect ways. Money flows to me freely, abundantly, and endlessly. Every word I speak creates wealth in my life. I am supplied before I even ask. Wealth pursues me and overtakes me. I am aligned with divine abundance, and I cannot be denied. Every dollar I spend returns to me multiplied. My words are my winning ticket, and I declare only wealth. I am free from all debt. I live in overflow. I am the voice of divine supply, and money answers when I speak. Read them again. Let them settle into your spirit. Each of these declarations is a winning ticket, and unlike the lottery, these tickets never fail when spoken in faith. Florence would remind her students, never use your words to describe your situation. Use your words to change it. That is the heart of this first code. You are not here to echo what is. You are here to command what will be. So now, I ask you, what words are you speaking over your life? Are you still signing contracts with scarcity, or will you begin writing agreements with abundance? The choice is always yours, and the law is always listening. Here is your first step of obedience. Speak this now, out loud. wherever you are. My words are my winning ticket. Say it with conviction. Say it with certainty, and then type it in the comments below. My words are my winning ticket. This is how you activate the first code. Every phrase you speak from this moment forward must align with the wealth you desire. No more careless speech. No more jokes about lack. No more muttering defeat. From today onward, your word is law, and your law is wealth. Because when you obey this first code, the universe has no choice but to obey you. The first code, your word, sets the mold. But the second code fills that mold with life. This is the law of assumption, the discipline of living as though your win is already secured. Florence Scovel Shinn called it acting rich to draw rich. Neville Goddard, another teacher of divine law, declared, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Both were pointing to the same truth. The universe does not respond to waiting, it responds to being. When you wait, you push your wealth into the future. You say, someday I'll be free, someday I'll win, someday I'll be wealthy. And the law obeys. It keeps your wealth at someday. It never arrives in the now. But when you assume, when you step into the vibration of already having, the universe mirrors that assumption into your present reality. What looks like imagination becomes embodiment, and embodiment is irresistible to divine law. Think about it. The person who says, one day I'll have money, continues to walk like a struggler. They worry about bills. They sigh at prices. They make choices from fear. Their vibration says, I lack. On the other hand, the person who says, I am wealthy now, carries themselves differently. They stand taller. They spend with confidence. They speak with authority. They visualize their bank account full, their debts cleared, their life overflowing. Their vibration says, I already have, and the law answers, so it is. This is the secret of assumption. It collapses time. What could take years is drawn into days. What you thought was far away suddenly becomes near, because you stopped waiting and started being. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is real. It accepts whatever you feed it as fact. If you continually tell it, I am broke, it accepts that as truth and arranges your reality to match. But if you feed it with the repeated conviction of wealth, it accepts that as fact and arranges your reality to mirror it. This is why assumption is so powerful. It is not pretending. It is training your subconscious to accept abundance as your default state. And once your subconscious believes it, your outer life has no choice but to follow. Florence herself told the story of a woman who longed for money, but always spoke of lack. Florence instructed her to act as if she already had the money. Soon, opportunities flowed to her in unexpected ways. Why? Because she moved from hoping to assuming. To make this real, I want you to imagine yourself already living in your win. Close your eyes and visualize it. See yourself holding the winning check, the amount written in bold, your hands trembling with gratitude. Imagine opening your bank account and seeing numbers aligned in overflow, more than you've ever had before. Feel the relief of paying every bill in full, the freedom of living without debt, the joy of giving generously to others. Walk through the house you've always wanted, sit in the car you've always dreamed of, breathe in the air of freedom that comes from knowing you are already wealthy. Don't just imagine it once, live in it. Carry that feeling with you throughout the day. When doubt whispers, it hasn't happened yet, answer, it is already done. Assumption means refusing to vibrate in waiting. It means embodying the reality now. And as you do, law begins shifting circumstances in ways you could never have predicted. Let's draw the line clearly. The one who waits says, I hope I'll be wealthy someday. They continue checking their pockets with fear. Living like someone who is always behind, wealth remains distant. The one who assumes says, I am already wealthy. They speak with authority, they carry themselves with confidence, and they vibrate abundance in every action. Wealth responds, because the law cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It simply mirrors vibration. Florence said it best. Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. The one who assumes sees themselves already in possession. The one who waits sees themselves always hoping. Which one do you think attracts wealth? Now let's engrave this code into your spirit. Speak these affirmations aloud, slowly, with conviction. Repeat them daily, until they feel like your natural language. I walk as a winner now. I live as though my wealth is already secured. I feel the joy of abundance today. I am already supplied and my supply cannot fail. I assume the vibration of wealth, and the universe mirrors it back. I see myself receiving and I receive without delay. Wealth is not coming, it is here now. Say them until your body tingles with the vibration of abundance. Say them until your subconscious accepts them as law. Say them until the very cells of your being walk in the identity of wealth. How do you practice assumption beyond affirmations? By acting in alignment with your wealth. Walk into stores without fear of price tags. Smile when bills arrive, knowing supply covers them. Give generously, even if it feels small, because giving is the behavior of one who already has. Every action becomes a rehearsal of your abundance, and the universe cannot resist such rhythm. Florence often told her students to play the part. If you want to be wealthy, live like wealth already belongs to you. That doesn't mean reckless spending. It means carrying the vibration of ownership. Think, act, and speak as though you are already living in the overflow, and soon enough, you will be. Now it's your turn. Pause this moment and speak this declaration aloud, with conviction. I live as though I have already won. Say it again until you feel the vibration settle in your spirit. Then write it in the comments below. I live as though I have already won. By doing this, you are not just typing words, you are embodying the code. You are stepping out of waiting and into assumption. You are collapsing time and drawing wealth into your now. The second code is simple, but it is life-changing. Those who wait will always wait. Those who assume will always receive. The question is, which one will you be? Step into assumption today. Walk as a winner now, and watch as the universe, obedient to divine law, arranges everything to match your vibration. The third code is where most people stumble, and it is why their manifestations never take root. You may declare your wealth with words. You may assume your wealth as though it is already done. But unless you seal both with obedience, the results will flicker like a flame in the wind, brief, fragile, easily extinguished. Wealth is not random. It is rhythmic. The universe does not operate in chaos, but in cycles, patterns, and flows. The sun rises and sets without fail. The tides follow the moon's pull with precision. Your heartbeat itself is rhythm, keeping you alive, and wealth follows the same principle. It flows in response to rhythm. This is why the third code is obedience. Not obedience to outside authority, but obedience to divine law. It is the discipline of showing up daily with your declarations and your assumptions until they take root in your subconscious. It is the commitment to rhythm. Without it, your wealth remains unstable. With it, your wealth becomes inevitable. When people hear the word obedience, they often think of restriction. They imagine rules that limit their freedom. But spiritual obedience is not about restriction. It is about consistency. It is about aligning yourself daily with truth until truth becomes your natural state. Obedience means you don't just speak affirmations when you feel inspired. You speak them when you're tired. You speak them when your circumstances contradict you. You speak them when fear whispers the opposite, because the law is exact, and every declaration repeated in rhythm engraves itself deeper into your subconscious. The subconscious is the true gatekeeper of manifestation. You can speak the right words consciously, but if your subconscious still believes in lack, the manifestation will falter. Obedience ensures that your subconscious is reprogrammed. It ensures that wealth becomes your default vibration, not just a fleeting hope. Let's contrast two people. The first is a dabbler. They discover affirmations, feel excited, and declare, I am wealthy. Money flows to me. They speak it for a few days, maybe even a week. But then life gets busy. Bills arrive, stress takes over. They stop speaking. They stop assuming. Their old habits of speech and thought return. And when no result shows, they shrug and say, it doesn't work. The second understands obedience. They also declare, I am wealthy. Money flows to me, but they do it every single day. They speak it when they feel nothing. They assume it when the evidence is invisible. They continue until their subconscious begins to accept it, until it feels natural, until the vibration becomes their identity. And then, without warning, results appear. Unexpected money arrives, opportunities open, the manifestation that seemed far off becomes reality. The difference is not in the words, they both said the same thing. The difference is in the rhythm. Dabblers stop, the obedient continue. And wealth does not answer the casual, it answers the consistent. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "A man's word is his wand filled with magic and power, but even the most powerful wand must be used consistently." Speaking a declaration once is like planting a seed and never watering it. Nothing grows. Speaking daily, in rhythm, is watering the soil until the harvest comes. Rhythm bypasses resistance. At first, your conscious mind may argue, "This isn't true. I don't see evidence." But with daily obedience, repetition softens that resistance. Slowly, your subconscious accepts the declaration as fact, and once the subconscious accepts, the outer world must mirror it. This is why rhythm is the seal that makes manifestation unstoppable. To help you embody this code, I want to give you a 7-day challenge. For the next 7 days, you will obey rhythm without excuse. No skipping, no dabbling, full commitment. Here is your structure. As soon as you wake up, before you check your phone, before you look at your bank account, declare, "My words command my wealth. I walk as a winner now. Money flows to me today in perfect ways." At some point during the day, fear, doubt, or a negative thought will arise. In that very moment, interrupt it with substitution. Declare, "I cancel that thought. I am fully supplied. I live in overflow." Before bed, affirm gratitude and abundance. Declare, "I am grateful for today's provision. Tomorrow brings even more. My wealth is inevitable." Do this every day, for 7 days. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Live it until it feels natural. By the end of 7 days, you will notice shifts, sometimes small, sometimes dramatic. You may find unexpected money, a surprise opportunity, or simply a deep calm about finances where fear used to live. That is the rhythm at work. Let me give you words you can use as your daily rhythm. Speak them morning, noon, and night. I am aligned with divine wealth in every moment. My rhythm is wealth. My vibration is abundance. Every word I repeat engraves wealth into my subconscious. Money flows to me because I obey the rhythm of law. I walk in discipline, and my discipline creates overflow. I do not dabble in abundance. I live in it daily. My rhythm is my guarantee. My wealth is inevitable. Speak these until they no longer sound like affirmations but like truth. That is obedience. Let's revisit the contrast one last time. Dabblers try for a moment, then stop. Their results are inconsistent, and they blame the law instead of their lack of rhythm. They remain trapped in cycles of scarcity, chasing luck, hoping for sudden wins that never come. The obedient live in rhythm. They don't stop when results delay. They know delay is not denial, it is gestation. They trust the process, they trust the law, and they trust their rhythm. And because they do, their wealth is inevitable. They walk in certainty while dabblers wander in circles. Which will you be? I want you to make a declaration of obedience right now. Pause. Speak this aloud. I obey the rhythm of wealth. And then type it in the comments below. I obey the rhythm of wealth. Let this be your covenant, your contract with divine law. Because when you obey rhythm, the universe cannot disobey you. The third code is the seal. The word sets the mold. The assumption fills the mold. And the obedience seals the mold until manifestation is born. Without rhythm, the other two collapse. But with rhythm, all 3 codes become unbreakable. So take this challenge seriously. 7 days, morning command, midday substitution, evening seal. Declare it, assume it, repeat it. That rhythm will reprogram your subconscious. That rhythm will rewrite your reality. That rhythm will bring your wealth. And once you taste the power of obedience, you will never return to chance again. There is something almost shocking about the precision of divine law once you align with it. To those on the outside, it looks like luck. To those who understand, it is simply cause and effect. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that results come swiftly, surely, and without delay, once the inner and outer word match divine truth. This is why when you practice the three codes, the word, the assumption, and the obedience, you can begin to see breakthroughs in as little as. Now, let's be clear. This does not mean you are playing a slot machine with God. It is not superstition. It is not bargaining. It is not luck. It is law. The speed at which results appear is directly tied to the level of alignment you maintain. When your words, your assumptions, and your rhythm are in harmony, the vibration becomes so clear, so exact, that the universe must rearrange itself instantly to match it. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you are even slightly off frequency, the sound is filled with static. But when you turn the dial just enough to find perfect alignment, the music comes through instantly. The station was always there. It just required tuning. Wealth is always here. It just requires alignment. People often wonder, why do some manifestations take years, while others happen in hours? The difference is not in the universe. The difference is in you. When you are split, speaking wealth but assuming lack, declaring prosperity but living in fear, the signal is scrambled. The law has nothing clear to obey. But when your declaration, assumption, and obedience line up, there is no resistance. The vibration is pure, and pure vibration manifests quickly. This is why people have seen miracle wins overnight. A debt canceled unexpectedly. A check arriving in the mail. A refund appearing they didn't anticipate. An opportunity opening within 24 hours. To the untrained eye, it looks random. But in truth, it is the exact outcome of alignment. Florence told story after story of those who shifted their words and assumptions and saw immediate results. A woman who declared, "I cast this burden on the Christ within, and I go free," saw a long-awaited payment arrive within days. A man who assumed, "God is my instant and everlasting supply," received a job offer the next morning. These weren't coincidences, they were the precision of divine law. Most people live as though wealth is years away. They believe it will take decades of struggle, hustle, and saving to reach freedom. They set timelines in their heads. If I work for 30 years, maybe I can retire comfortably. And so their subconscious accepts lack as the present, wealth as the distant future, and their reality mirrors that. But the one who obeys the formula steps into wealth now. They declare it with words. They assume it as done. They repeat it in rhythm until it becomes identity. And because their vibration matches the frequency of abundance, results show up in days, not decades. This is why the formula can produce 48-hour breakthroughs. It bypasses years of waiting and collapses time into now. Instead of hoping wealth might eventually come, you embody wealth today, and the law mirrors your embodiment immediately. It may not always be the lottery, though it can be. More often, it is wealth flowing through natural channels and supernatural timing. You receive a refund, bonus, or gift out of the blue. Have a debt forgiven or reduced overnight. Attract a new client, customer, or job within days. Experience a sudden opportunity that feels perfectly timed. The channel doesn't matter. The principle does. The law delivers through whatever avenue is open, but the speed is determined by your alignment. Here is what I want you to grasp. The moment you align with all three codes, your manifestation is not on the way. It is already here. The 48 hours, the 24 hours, the by-morning timing is not about the universe preparing. It is about you allowing. When your resistance drops, wealth rushes in. Imagine standing in front of a dam. Behind it is an ocean of water, already yours. The moment you align with the formula, it is like removing the barrier. The water doesn't trickle in slowly. It gushes. That is why results can appear almost instantly. Let me make this very practical. If you want to see a 48-hour breakthrough, here is your assignment. Declare your wealth aloud, clearly, and boldly. Example, money flows to me now in perfect ways. Live today as though it has already happened. Feel the joy of holding the check, of seeing the numbers in your account, of breathing the freedom of abundance. Repeat this morning, midday, and night for the next 48 hours without fail. No excuses, no dabbling, full obedience. By doing this, you are not asking the universe, you are commanding it. You are aligning with divine law, and the law cannot fail. Speak this now, and repeat it often over the next 2 days. My wealth is not delayed, it is here now. I walk in the vibration of sudden supply. Money finds me in 24 hours, in 48 hours, by morning. Divine law delivers swiftly, surely, and without fail. I am aligned, and my breakthrough is inevitable. These affirmations are not just words, they are codes. Each repetition engraves the vibration of immediacy into your subconscious. And once your subconscious believes, the outer world must mirror it. Now let's seal this together. Speak aloud, right now. My 48-hour breakthrough is here. Feel it as though it has already happened. Imagine the relief, the gratitude, the joy. Let that vibration settle in your body. Then type it in the comments below. My 48-hour breakthrough is here. By writing it, you are anchoring your assumption, sealing your obedience, and declaring to the universe that your win is already complete. The formula produces 48-hour breakthroughs because divine law is not slow. It is precise. It does not delay. It does not hesitate. The moment you align, the manifestation is already set in motion. So don't wait years for wealth that could be yours today. Don't keep pushing abundance into the future. Align your word, your assumption, and your obedience now, and watch as your 48-hour breakthrough unfolds. It is one thing to hear about divine law as principle. It is another to see it alive in real lives, people who shifted from years of lack into sudden overflow, simply by applying the codes Florence Scovel Shinn revealed. Stories carry power because they prove the law works not just in theory but in practice. They show us that alignment produces results for anyone, anywhere, when the formula is obeyed. There was a woman drowning in debt, bills piling higher than her courage. Every day she spoke words of despair. I can't catch up. I'll never be free. Money slips through my fingers. Her vibration kept her chained to scarcity. Then she came across Florence's teaching. Your word is your wand. She made a choice. She replaced her daily complaints with a declaration. All my needs are met under grace, in perfect ways. She spoke at morning, noon, and night. She assumed her debts were already dissolved. She obeyed the rhythm of repetition until her subconscious accepted it as true. Within 2 weeks, an inheritance she did not expect was released to her. The timing was so precise it shocked her entire family. She paid every debt in full and stepped into freedom. What years of hustling could not do, alignment with law accomplished in days. Another story, a man who had been out of work for months. He sent applications, begged for interviews, hustled endlessly but nothing opened. His words betrayed him. No one will hire me. The economy is terrible. I have no luck. One evening, defeated, he came across Florence's declaration. I have a wonderful job in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. He laughed at the simplicity, but something in him stirred. He decided to test it. For 7 days, he spoke that phrase constantly. He didn't just say it, he assumed it. He walked as though he already had the job. He prepared his clothes as though for work. He set his alarm as though he had somewhere to be. By the end of the week, he received a call. Not only was he offered a position, it paid more than his previous job, and it came with benefits he had never imagined. Chance could not have arranged that timing. Law did. His obedience to the rhythm of word and assumption collapsed time and opened doors no human hand could have forced. A family was on the edge of eviction. Their landlord had given them notice, and money was nowhere in sight. They tried everything, borrowing, pleading, cutting costs. Nothing worked. Then they remembered Florence's principle. Supply is never outside you, it is within. Together they decided to align. For 48 hours, every member of that family declared, money comes to us now, our supply cannot fail. They visualized holding the rent money, giving it with gratitude, feeling relief. They spoke in rhythm until fear dissolved. On the second day, a relative they hadn't spoken to in years called unexpectedly and offered to help them. The exact amount they needed was transferred that same afternoon. To the family, it felt like a miracle. To divine law, it was simply alignment. Then there was a woman who always said, I never win anything. Her life reflected her words. Constant scarcity, constant struggle. After learning about Florence, she shifted her speech to unexpected money flows to me daily. I am always winning with divine supply. She didn't even play the lottery. Yet within a month, she received a legal settlement she had forgotten about, unexpected refunds, and a surprise bonus from her employer. In total, the amount matched what she once dreamed of winning. She laughed, realizing she had won without a ticket. Her word was her winning ticket. Notice the pattern. Before alignment, each of these people lived in cycles of scarcity, words of lack, assumptions of fear, actions of desperation. They depended on chance, effort, or others for supply, and all they found was struggle. But the moment they obeyed the formula, everything shifted. Their words became law. Their assumptions collapsed time. Their obedience created rhythm. And the universe, exact in its response, delivered sudden supply. Inheritances, jobs, gifts, settlements, opportunities. What looked impossible became inevitable once the vibration aligned. This is the contrast. Strugglers live by chance, hoping for change. Aligners live by law, commanding change. One stays bound to scarcity, the other steps into flow. Now the question turns to you. What will your story be? Will you continue in the patterns of lack, speaking words that chain you to poverty, waiting for someday? Or will you align today, speak with authority, assume your win is already complete, and obey the rhythm until your sudden supply arrives? You do not need to wait years. The stories you've just heard prove that divine law works quickly, precisely, when obeyed. Your inheritance, your opportunity, your breakthrough is already waiting. It is not random, it is not luck, it is alignment. Take a moment now to see yourself in these stories. Visualize your sudden supply, whether it's money to clear a debt, an unexpected gift, a new business opportunity, or a breakthrough you've been waiting for. Feel it as though it has already arrived. Now declare it in the comments. By divine law, I receive my sudden supply. This is not just a phrase. It is your agreement with abundance. It is your contract with divine law. And once spoken, the universe begins to fulfill it. Florence's wisdom was never meant to be theory. It was meant to be practiced. The stories prove the formula works. Now it's your turn to step out of scarcity and into supply. Your word, your assumption, your obedience will become your breakthrough, and your life will testify that divine law cannot fail. Every law needs rhythm. Every formula needs practice. And the three codes you've just learned, the word, the assumption, and the obedience, must now be woven into your daily life if you want them to produce lasting results. This is where the wealth command ritual comes in. Think of it as your spiritual lottery ticket. Except unlike the odds of a game of chance, this one guarantees wealth flow when practiced faithfully. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that repetition engraves truth into the subconscious until it becomes your living reality. The wealth command ritual is your daily practice to engrave wealth so deeply into your mind and spirit that it can no longer be denied. This ritual has three movements: the morning command, the midday substitution, and the evening seal. If you practice these three consistently, wealth will begin to flow to you in perfect way. The way you begin your day sets the vibration for everything that follows. If you wake up and immediately check your bank account, you reinforce lack. If you start with worry or fear, you rehearse scarcity all day long. But if you begin with a declaration, you command wealth into motion before the world can interfere. The morning command is simple but powerful. As soon as you wake up, before your feet touch the floor, speak words that shape your financial reality. Example: my words command my wealth. Money moves when I speak. All my needs are met under grace, in perfect ways. I walk as a winner now. I live in wealth today. Say these with authority. Feel them. Repeat them 3, 5, even 7 times until your spirit aligns. This is not casual. This is command. The moment you do, you set the frequency of your day. No matter how strong your morning begins, doubt often tries to creep in as the day unfolds. A bill arrives. A thought whispers, "What if this doesn't work?" Fear tries to take back the ground you claimed in the morning. This is why the second movement of the ritual is midday substitution. Substitution means you immediately replace any thought of lack with a declaration of supply. Florence called it flipping the script. The moment you hear yourself say, "I can't afford this," you stop and substitute with, All my needs are met under grace. When fear whispers this won't work for you, you respond, everything I declare must manifest because law cannot fail. This step is crucial because it prevents your subconscious from reinforcing old patterns. If you let doubt linger, it roots itself again. But if you interrupt it with substitution, you reprogram your mind in real time. Example: substitution affirmations. I cancel that thought of lack. I live in overflow. I reject fear and accept wealth now. There is no loss in spirit. My supply is secure. This is not optional. It is the discipline that keeps your vibration clean throughout the day. The third movement is the evening seal. Your subconscious never sleeps. It replays the final thoughts you dwell on before bed. If you close your day with fear, stress, or complaints, your subconscious spends the night multiplying scarcity. But if you close your day with gratitude, wealth, and assumption, your subconscious spends the night rehearsing abundance. The evening seal requires you to declare and assume as though your wealth is already here. Give thanks in advance. Speak as though the supply has already manifested. Example: I am grateful that wealth flowed to me today. I rest in abundance. Tomorrow brings even more. I live as though my supply is complete, and so it is. I assume my wealth is secured tonight. I wake in overflow. As you speak, imagine yourself already in possession of your desire. See the numbers in your account. Feel the relief of bills paid, the joy of giving, the freedom of overflow. Let that feeling carry you into sleep, and watch as the universe begins to mirror it back into your waking life. When these 3 steps, morning command, midday substitution, and evening seal, are practiced daily, they create a rhythm that reprograms your subconscious and aligns you with wealth. This is not about random affirmations or half-hearted attempts. It is about rhythm, obedience, and consistency. Most people dabble. They speak affirmations when they feel inspired and stop when they don't see immediate results. But the ones who commit to rhythm see breakthrough after breakthrough. Florence warned that the law does not reward hesitation. It rewards faith, repetition, and alignment. When you obey this ritual, your wealth becomes inevitable. It may come through expected channels or through sudden, miraculous ones, but it will come. Here is a long affirmation loop you can use as part of your ritual. Speak these slowly, rhythmically, allowing each one to settle deeply into your subconscious. I am the commander of wealth. Every word I speak is a winning ticket. I assume my supply is already here. I obey the rhythm of wealth daily. Money cannot ignore me because I align with divine law. My morning command sets wealth in motion. My midday substitution keeps me aligned. My evening seal engraves abundance into my subconscious. I walk as a winner now. I live in wealth today. Every cell in my body vibrates with abundance. Wealth is not random. Wealth is my rhythm. Repeat these often, even beyond the ritual itself. Let them become the language of your life. Now here is your test of obedience. I challenge you to commit to this ritual for 14 days without fail. No skipping, no dabbling. Morning command, midday substitution, and evening seal every single day. Speak, assume, obey. At the end of 14 days, you will not be the same. Your subconscious will be reprogrammed, your vibration will be elevated. Wealth will begin flowing into your life in ways you cannot explain but cannot deny. Make this covenant right now. Speak aloud, I commit to 14 days of the wealth command ritual. And type it in the comments below, I commit to 14 days of the wealth command ritual. Let your declaration mark your decision. Because once you commit, law cannot ignore you. This is the daily practice Florence hinted at, but few ever mastered. It is simple, but it is powerful. And if you obey it, you will never again live by chance. You will live by law. You will live in wealth. Every formula needs a seal. Every covenant needs a final word that ties it together. You've learned the 3 codes: the word, the assumption, and the obedience. Each is powerful on its own. Together, they form the unbreakable formula of wealth. But there is one declaration that gathers all 3 into a single command. It is simple, but it is unstoppable. Here it is. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. This is the billionaire-level declaration. It integrates everything you've learned into one phrase of absolute authority. It begins with obedience, the rhythm of daily alignment. It affirms your partnership with divine law, not with chance. And it ends with certainty. Money cannot ignore you. Not maybe, not someday, not if I'm lucky. Cannot. When you speak this declaration, you are telling the universe that your vibration is already in harmony with wealth. You are declaring that your subconscious is programmed for abundance. You are affirming that your daily rhythm is aligned with divine law, and the law, being exact, must obey. Think about the power in these words. The dabblers say, "I hope money finds me." But you declare, "Money cannot ignore me." The fearful whisper, "Maybe one day I'll be free." But you say, "Because I obey divine law, I am free now." The world believes in chance. You believe in covenant. And covenant always wins. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that wealth does not come by effort alone, but by alignment with divine principles. This one declaration is alignment distilled. It is a key that unlocks the vault. Every time you say it, you remind your spirit that you are no longer chasing, no longer hoping, no longer waiting. You are commanding, you are embodying, you are obeying. Now, let us engrave it into your subconscious. Pause this video and declare it aloud 7 times with conviction. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Feel how it shifts the air around you. Feel how it changes the rhythm of your body. You are programming your subconscious to accept wealth as inevitable. This one declaration contains the word you are speaking wealth into being. It contains the assumption you are living as though your obedience guarantees your supply, and it contains the obedience you repeat it daily, rhythmically, until it becomes the natural language of your soul. Say it when you wake up. Say it in the middle of the day. Say it before you sleep. Whisper it when fear rises. Declare it when opportunity appears. Let it become your sword, your shield, your rhythm. Because the more you repeat it, the deeper it engraves itself into your subconscious. And once your subconscious accepts it, the outer world must mirror it. So here is your engagement cue. Stop everything for a moment. Speak it aloud 7 times, then type it in the comments right now. Money cannot ignore me. This is your agreement. This is your covenant. And from this moment forward, the law cannot fail you. Because you obey divine law, money cannot ignore you. It must answer. It must respond. It must flow. And so it is. Beloved, you have heard the formula. You have spoken the words. You have assumed the wealth. You have committed to the rhythm. And now I bless you to step into your winning season. No more delays. No more waiting. No more cycles of lack. From this day forward, your words carry weight, your assumptions carry power, and your obedience carries reward. I declare over you that sudden breakthroughs become your new normal. Checks arrive when you least expect them. Doors open that no man can shut. Opportunities find you because your vibration commands them. You are worthy of overflow, not by luck, not by chance, but by divine inheritance. The law cannot fail you. The universe cannot ignore you, and money cannot resist you, because you are aligned. May every bill be met with divine provision. May every need be covered before it arises. May your life overflow so greatly that you give generously, joyfully, without fear. This is your covenant. This is your rhythm. This is your winning season. And so, I seal this formula in your subconscious now. Let it echo in your spirit. Because I obey divine law, money cannot ignore me. Say it one more time and let it sink deep into your being. This is not the end of a message. It is the beginning of your new reality. Stay connected to this rhythm. Return to these teachings often. Speak them daily. Share them with others who need alignment. Let this channel be a sanctuary where your vibration is reset and your faith renewed. If this word has confirmed your truth, if it has aligned your spirit, then I invite you now, subscribe to stay in rhythm with divine wealth. Because rhythm is your power, And every time you return, you strengthen it. I bless you with peace, with provision, with sudden supply. Your season of struggle is over. Your season of winning is here. And so it is.